2026, brand new regulations, and one team has stood out and become the best, which is Mercedes, trying to get back their dominant era, and they have had the fastest car, but it's come at a cost, with quite a number of reliability issues like George Russell in Montreal and Kimi Antonelli in Barcelona. And then when you look at their nearest championship contenders, Ferrari have been not exactly flawless, but you can say flawless because they've had zero reliability issues this season. And it begs the question, this championship is not over, quite all right. But what is influencing this championship not to be over yet? To be the best, you have to push yourself, your car, and parts of your car to its full potential and to its full limit. And well, it can come at a cost. Well, components can get worn out, dead, and it happens to the best of some teams. And to extract the most performance out of your car and its components, you need to be on the edge of the engineering of those components and just the car itself. And there's very little margin when you're trying to extract 101% of that performance. Well, having a faster car doesn't guarantee reliability, but having a slower car doesn't guarantee reliability either. So it comes down to a number of things. But for Mercedes on this part, they've had their fair share of unreliability and bad luck as well. Just look at Kimi in Barcelona and George in Montreal, and then the previous Silverstone Grand Prix where we had George Russell with a slow puncture and Kimi Antonelli with a aerodynamic failure of some sort, which was quite strange. And we've not seen this for the first time. This has happened many times in Formula One. Let me throw it back 4 years ago, 2022. The ground effect era returned to Formula One, but in the modern day era. And to start off the season, the fastest was Ferrari, which excited a lot of the community and the world. Charles Leclerc winning the opening Grand Prix with his teammate in second place in Bahrain. Ferrari were the faster car in 2022. And everybody thought, is this the year of the prancing horse? Is this the year Maranello regains the throne? Well, if a few factors went right, it would have been. First of all, there were a few driver errors, just like Charles Leclerc in Imola when he crashed. And I will talk about the heartbreaking moment of Paul Ricard. Oof, that is a holy throwback. Paul Ricard, I've not heard about that track in a long time. And then they had their fair share of unreliability. Barcelona, Baku, and then you had Austria with Carlos Sainz. And well, to be honest, it wasn't just them. Even that same year, 2022, Red Bull were not the fastest at the early point of the year because Verstappen's car died in Bahrain and in Australia. And it was quite incredible that Red Bull had been having reliability issues. And the only team that wasn't having reliability issues was Mercedes because they were too busy bouncing up and down. Pause. Ferrari could have been champions if it weren't for certain factors like those. And then I'll talk about the other part, fastest car and highest reliability. Mercedes in, well, most of the dominant eras of the hybrid era, turbo hybrid era, they were completely flawless. I remember 2019 and 2020, you rarely used to hear about engine failures or component failures in Mercedes. It was strange. Having a slightly slower car, but consistently finishing races is what is keeping Ferrari in this fight, they're not really a slow car. The cars of 2026 in general are slow, but in a context of current matters, Ferrari are not that slow because they're almost matching Mercedes in terms of pace. And Ferrari is completely reliable. I can't say completely, but they're consistently finishing races. Lewis Hamilton is the only driver on the grid that has scored points in every single race this season. GOAT status. And, well, Charles Leclerc would have been the next if he did not crash in Monaco. But to be fair, that was a track problem. And Mercedes have had the fastest pace, but reliability has been a problem. And this is the decisive factor in Formula One. Of course, reliability doesn't mean speed. Cars can be reliable, like I've said, Mercedes 2022, completely reliable, but constantly porpoising. Every track, the car was just going up and down, breaking backs, breaking spines to a certain extent, and they couldn't do anything, to be fair. And funny enough, that was the highest scoring car in the ground effect era. Unbelievable. But yes, to be the fastest in Formula One, you have to maximize performance, every bit of performance you can get out of your car and its components. And unreliability is bound to happen for every team. I don't think there's a team out there, maybe if you're Michael Schumacher back in 2002, where you just finish on the podium or win every single race. Even Red Bull in 2023, Max Verstappen. But in especially the 2026 cars, so many issues. Unreliability is almost guaranteed. And reliability, constantly finishing races, is not guaranteed. But reliability isn't the opposite of speed. In Formula One, the fastest car isn't always the best car. The best car is the one that's fast enough to win and to finish races. Because to finish first you must finish. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want to see more content just like this, please remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this analysis, click on that like button. It costs nothing. Thank you so much for watching.